The rain came down hard and sudden, the kind that turns a normal morning into a moment you'll remember for the rest of your life. Marcus Hale had faced billion-dollar boardroom battles without breaking a sweat. But standing on the side of a half-finished highway outside Atlanta, soaked to the bone with his luxury car stalled and smoke curling from the hood, he felt completely helpless. His phone had no signal. His driver was miles away. And for the first time in years, Marcus Hale, one of America's youngest black billionaires, had no one to save him. That's when he heard the sound of boots splashing through mud. A woman in a neon safety vest and hard hat walked toward him, rain sliding off her shoulders like she didn't even notice it. She was tall, strong, and moved with the confidence of someone who worked with her hands every day. Her skin glowed deep brown even under the gray sky, and her eyes held a calm focus that made Marcus forget, for a moment, the smoking engine behind him. "You okay, sir?" she asked, raising her voice over the rain. "This road floods fast. You shouldn't be standing this close." Marcus laughed nervously. "Car died on me. Guess it couldn't handle the weather." She smiled, quick and warm. "Machines break. People panic. That's normal." She wiped her hands on her jeans and glanced at the car. "Pop the hood." Marcus hesitated. No one ever spoke to him like that, direct, unafraid, uninterested in who he might be. He did as she said. Within minutes, she'd identified the problem. Water had flooded part of the system. She explained it simply, clearly, like a teacher who actually cared if you understood. Using tools from her truck, she rigged a temporary fix. "My name's Aisha," she said as she worked. "I'm on the construction crew up the road." "Marcus," he replied. He didn't mention his last name. For once, he didn't want to. When the engine finally turned over, Marcus felt something unexpected relief mixed with admiration. "You just saved my day," he said. Aisha shrugged. "That's my job. Building things, fixing things." He offered her money. She shook her head immediately. "Nah. If you really want to thank me, just drive safe. And remember, not everyone who helps you needs something back." Those words stayed with him long after he drove away. Over the next few weeks, Marcus found himself thinking about her more than he should. About the way she stood firm in the rain, about how she spoke without fear or apology. He began taking the long route to work, passing by the construction site by accident. Sometimes he saw her, sometimes he didn't. When he did, they talked about work, about life, about growing up black in America, and learning to survive worlds that weren't built for you. Aisha told him about her mother, who cleaned offices at night so her kids could eat, about how she'd dropped out of college to help raise her younger brothers, about how construction wasn't her dream, but it was honest work that paid the bills. Marcus told her less at first. He said he worked in business. He said he liked quiet mornings and hated crowded rooms. He didn't tell her about the private jets or the magazine covers. With Aisha, he didn't feel the need to perform. One evening, after a long day, they sat on the edge of the site, watching the sun dip behind unfinished concrete pillars. Dust hung in the air like gold. "You ever feel invisible?" Aisha asked softly, "like people see the vest and boots, but not the person inside?" Marcus swallowed. "More than you know." That was when he realized something scared him. Not losing money, not losing status, losing this connection that felt real in a world built on transactions. The truth came out weeks later, not from Marcus, but from the news. A luxury car pulled up to the site one morning, cameras flashing. Someone had leaked his identity. Aisha watched silently as Marcus stepped out, surrounded by security. Billionaire, Marcus Hale, the man she'd shared jokes with, the man who'd listened to her dreams. That night, she didn't answer his calls. When they finally spoke, her voice was tight. "You could have told me." "I wanted to," Marcus said, "but I was afraid the moment you knew, I'd stop being Marcus and start being a title." She sighed. "I don't hate you. But I need to know something though. You see me? Or am I just a story to you?" Marcus drove to her apartment immediately. No cameras, no guards. Just him. "I see you," he said, standing in the doorway. "I see your strength. Your honesty. The way you show up even when the world doesn't clap for you. You helped me when I was stuck. Not because of who I am, but because of who you are. And I fell in love with you right there in the rain." Aisha studied him for a long moment. Then she nodded slowly, Love isn't proven by words, she said. It's proven by choices. Marcus made his choice. He invested in training programs for construction workers, funded scholarships for women entering skilled trades. He showed up at Aisha's job sites, at family barbecues, at community meetings without trying to be the center of attention. Months later, standing on that same stretch of road now fully built, Marcus took Aisha's hand. The highway was complete, strong, reliable. Funny how life works, Aisha said, smiling. You broke down so we could build something. Marcus smiled back, heart full. Sometimes the roadblocks are the blessing. And as cars passed smoothly behind them, Marcus knew the greatest thing he'd ever gained wasn't his fortune, but the woman who helped him when he had nothing to offer but his trust.